Oh, another one in particular was this something you said a couple of times to me, implying, I'm thinking you're trying to imply that I just be regurgitating something I read in books. That's why you keep talking about your experience and that you've lived certain things, you ain't just read them. That's what you be saying, not just in books. And it's not the first time you said this to me about, we was talking about something totally different last time. So all I can do is assume is that's what you think that's what I'm about, and I just be spitting out some shit. I'm some one of them type of brothers. But that's not what I do. I've had more time and opportunity to think than some people. And that's what I tried to tell you in the message, that you can be 100 years old and have been working just as hard as you were when you were 20, and you ain't never had time to just sit down and think. So I could have easily been thinking about some things more than a person older than me, just because I've had more time. I've sacrificed certain physical things to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure you understand that I haven't said anything to you that I read nowhere. We ain't had a conversation about much of nothing that I've read. You know what I'm saying? Everything I say to you these are my observations. So I just want to get these things out the way, because you ended up the statement just trying to imply that I'm for the patriarchy. That's what this is about. That my resistance to agree with you or accept your opinion means that I'm on some patriarchal shit, and that's farthest thing from the truth. Like, that's the point of all this. That's what y'all keep missing. That go back to the Malcolm movie Spike Lee did when he was having a conversation with Betty, I think, one of the sisters. He was saying, explaining why we are so hard on the women. This is old school Elijah Muhammad philosophy. Spend most of your time teaching and training the women. Teach a woman, you teach a nation. Like, I'm with that. Like, that's how I feel. Like, and all of this shit I'm doing is about returning you back to your throne. Like, that's all I want. So I hope that's not the impression I'm giving, just because I might seem like I'm going hard on you. I'm going hard on you because you are the goddess. You bear the most responsibility in this whole shit. And I'm not gonna let you get away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to feel like this black woman god shit is just a bunch of talk to get you to to treat you a certain way or something. Like, you want me to kiss your ass now? Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Because you are in a position, we're trying to put you back in a position where you can rule. And you can't do that if you ain't fully responsible for yourself. And that's what the whole thing was about. Responsibility for yourself. You can't just keep saying, oh, you keep calling them bitches, but why? Was my point. Why do I keep calling them bitches? This is the whole thing. I feel like we're not dealing with the root of the problem. You want a treatment. And you said in your message that I don't mimic what a lost woman refers to herself. I should not agree with lost ones who don't know who they are supposed to be. And that's my point. How do you know they don't know who they're supposed to be? Some people know they are demons. Some people know they disagreeables. Some people know they the devil. So if they tell you, it's just like a woman who tell you she crazy. Anybody ever run into anybody who ever told you they was crazy when you meet them? And you'd be a fool not to take their word for it. You're going to wait and find out and see. Nah, you just saying that. Take your chances. That's gambling. I don't do no more gambling. I take people's word for it. And you got a point that some people don't really know who they are. They might be calling themselves all type of things. I was that way. When I met the brothers who turned me on the right knowledge, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. I wasn't calling myself a Moor or God or Pharaoh or king or none of that shit. But they told me that's what I was. But I damn sure wasn't calling myself a dog or crazy or a loser. You know what I'm saying? I never said those things about myself. And this is what happens. This is the problem. This was my argument. That any woman you ever heard me refer to that as, first, she behaved that way. See, that's my thing. If you bitching, you a bitch. How else do you diagnose shit? If you see certain type of behavior, you say that's what it is. And if you don't, that's delusional to me. Like, what you saying to me is what I heard growing up in church. Scriptures say, call those things that be not as though they were. Call a cat a dog even if it's not. Like, that's not reality. That sounds good, and I tried that. Just like how we always be telling the crackers, we tried that. We ain't doing that no more. Well, I tried that. I tried calling the person a goddess, even though they telling me they crazy, and I'm just a bitch. And they showing me that they that. And I'm sitting here, I'm sticking around because I'd say, no, that's not who you really are. You're lost. That's what, like you saying. And they ended up, proving that they were who they said they were. And showed me that I was foolish for not listening in the first place. That's not listening. Then I gave the example of a woman who was on the flip side of that, because that don't always have to be a negative thing. Every time somebody says that's my bitch, they not being disrespectful. It just depends on how you look at that word. And I wanted to save some of this for my part in my French 2 video, but I'm going to go on and get into some of these etymologies, because we argue about words that we shouldn't be arguing about and use words that we think are okay that we really shouldn't be using. The words we should be debating about are the ones we've accepted. For instance, you called yourself a queen in this message. Well, the etymology of queen is whore. So, how many sisters do we know that walk around proudly calling themselves this? Now, you can get into the etymology of whore and say what that really means, but when we say whore, what do we think of? What comes to your mind when you say the word whore? So, I can get into the etymology of bitch, vitch, witch are the same word. And that does not imply negativity. That don't mean female dog. A witch is not bad. Nowadays it is. When you say witch, you got a whole nother image in your head than you would have when we were dealing with Wicca and wizardry. Being wise. Don't have anything to do with that anymore. So, when I say it, I'm saying just like what it's been defined as, a female dog. And I really ought to stop saying that, because the way I really look at some of these women, that's an insult to fucking dogs, if you ask me. At least a female dog know she a dog and don't have a problem being a dog. These bitches don't know who the fuck they are or what they are. So, really, it's a nice word if you ask me, because a lot of how I feel about some of these people is a lot worse than what I say. And that's the truth. And, like I said, since we was initially talking about my son's mother, I thought she was a good example, because she's has no respect for herself or me or nobody else, them children, So you asking me to respect somebody who don't respect themselves, to call somebody something that they don't even see themselves as, for what? To do what? What would be the purpose if they done already made a decision on what type of person they're gonna be? I don't know. it's kind of simple to me. Like I said, I don't really get caught up into the words and shit too much as I do intentions. I don't think it would be better for me to think she's a bitch and call her something else. What good would that do? If I feel like you ain't shit, I ain't gonna be able to treat you like a goddess no matter what I call you. Ain't that more important? You know, I was always the type that wouldn't raise my voice in front of my children. I don't argue and fight in front of nobody, especially my children. But bitches do that. And don't have a problem doing it. I done been in all kind of crazy situations, altercations in public places, shit that should never happen. But I wanted to defuse it. She wanted to keep going, because if you a wild fucking beast, you don't care about that type of shit. So that's the type of person I'm talking about. That's the type of person I was dealing with. And I don't have no problem saying I was crazy when I met her and when I fell for her. Yeah, that's the only way it could work. We had to both be crazy. But once I woke up, I stopped calling my snake a caterpillar. I don't call snakes caterpillars, family. Why? Keep saying this shit. That's not going to stop it from biting you. It's not going to prevent it from biting you. That just gives you a better chance of getting bit. Because you won't admit what this shit is. You won't be honest. You want to call those things that be not as though they were. No, man. I sent you a clip of Don Nicoleon, who called herself a bad bitch several times out her own mouth. And that's what I'm saying. If y'all the goddesses, you saying you put me on this pedestal, how can you put me on a higher pedestal than you put yourself? You should be telling your sisters, you should be going to them, saying don't ever say that about yourself if you don't want that being said to you. How you see yourself is the way other people will see you, and they will treat you accordingly. I don't have to worry about people calling me out my name, man, because I don't act that way. You don't give people a reason to. And you said in the previous message that your husbands or whatever ain't never done that to you. Just like I ain't never had to do that before either. A lot of things I did that I ain't never done with other people because they didn't behave that way. For every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You sound like you're trying to have some type of chumps walking around here. They don't have anything to do with patriarchy. There's too many men walking around like this while they being bitched at. Okay. You, whatever you say, baby. Nation of pussies, man. I'm not interested in that. And if you call that phallus stroking, then you call it that. But I don't have no problem with strong women who speak their mind. I don't have a problem with the angry black woman or bitches, period. You just need to know where to focus your damn energy. Focus your aggression in the right place. That's the problem. Most of you mad at the wrong fucking people. Be mad, be angry, be a bitch, be loud, but yell at the enemy. Yell at your motherfucking boss. Don't come over here with me with that shit. I don't have anything to do with that. And you say I'm supposed to take you out that situation. That's why you yelling at me, because you ain't doing what you supposed to do. Man, that's why I gotta go and be out here. Nah, fuck that. Do for yourself. What you gonna do when I'm dead? Kill yourself? Do it now. Fuck it. I'm sorry. I'm just talking shit, but y'all know what I'm saying, man.